Good afternoon, students. Welcome back for English online class. Today's class is for 8th standard students. So today we will be learning the poem The Bees, written by William Wordsworth here. The word bees itself is expresses or tells that is it is an insect or it is a small creature which works hard, and by nature they are very sincere and they serve their master. Here we have found, as well as we have seen some ants also, even they also serve and they also work hard. Here bees also work hard and they are setting an example for us human beings. Just looking those bees and ants, we also make them as our idol, and we have to follow them, and we even have to work hard as an ants and bees. So here in this poem also we will be learning about that they are very professional in their work, here we find the soldiers who works hard, who gathers and collects the honey here, and also some of them are as a merchants who does the trading here, and there is a lazy drone is also there. So this poem is by William Wordsworth. Here we will be learning all these things, and here also a pre-reading task is also given there as usual. So it has been given that have you tasted the honey the taste ellargu gottittu, maximum of us know that what kind of a taste is honey. And have you anytime have you collected that honey, have you tried to collect the honey? That is what the poet is asking. He is here, and you must have seen the bees sitting on the flowers, going from flower to flower and sucking the nectar there from the straw, what is there in them. And after reading these things, we come to know the very unique qualities of these bees here. And we find here in this whole story, or we have seen already, we know that the bees are very busy creatures. So here they are teaching us something, they are making us to learn something, so that we have to follow them and we should work hard and we should serve as well as they do here. So let's begin today's poem, that is B, and just try to do the pre-reading task. And here behind is also some this appreciation work is also given there. So why don't you find the meanings of that is third, what is that third main it is, find out the meanings of the following words from the dictionary: magistrates, venture, masons, burdens, potters, executors, mechanic, and surely. So even that, go to the internet, find out from the internet and get the encyclopedia of the bees, and find the different types of ants and teamwork and about the division of labor. So that is also the task for you. And here just about, not only about that, so just try to write about a paragraph about 50 to 60 words: the nutritious value of honey, medicinal value of honey, and the beehive and its wax. You have already seen, I think you already touched, some of you might have collected the honey from the beehive. So that is what we want, is just to write about the nutritional value. When we talk or we eat about the honey, we know that there is some nutritious value in that. That is what we eat this honey. That what is that nutritious value, what kind of a nutrition is there in it, just try to write it. And also about beehive, and there we find some kind of a wax is also there, you need to write it. And about the medicinal value, so maximum of we Indians, we follow many varieties of different various types of the medicines we inhale. So just try to find the medicinal value. ಔಷಧಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಈ ಜೇನುವನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So just try to get information about this also. So try to write and note down it, and also the different types of ants and their teamwork and the division of labor. So this is what you have to do is. And apart from this, so there is a, you can find so many advertising honey products are there, many posters we see, many slogans we see. isn't that? So daily in our social medias as well as in televisions, we see so many brands of the honeybees, 50 gram, 100 gram, and 200-gram bottles we see. And not only this, we directly go to some of the gardens or the some of the orchards. There we find various fruit trees, and among those fruit trees, one or the other, we find the hives there. So just try to see and how do they collect the nectar from flower to flower, how do they go and put it that nectar into the hive, and how do they collect the hive, sorry, honey. So this is what you have to do is, just after reading this lesson, you will get exactly how the honeybees work and what they are going to teach here. Okay, so let's begin today's poem, that is the bee. So first is, so work the honeybees, creatures that by a rule in nature, each the art of order to a people kingdom. They have a king and officers sorts, where some like magistrates correct at home, others like merchants venture trade abroad, others like soldiers armed in their strings make a boot upon the summer's velvet, which pillage there with merry mirth bring home. Sorry, we will stop here. So let's read one by one line. So work the honeybees, creatures that by rule in nature teach the art of order to the people kingdom. So here we know that it is a honeybee, it is small creatures, so it is an insect. So it flies from flower to flower, flower to flower, and it collects the sweetness, that is the nectar, from the flowers, and just it is teaching us, because this is the work what it does in this nature. Not only working and collecting the nectar, it teaches us that always we find these kinds of bees sitting on the flowers or the leaves or the buds, just collecting the nectar from the flower, the sweetness from the flower. So here they are teaching us to work hard for our the people kingdom here. And they have a king and officers of sorts. As we work together, we find so many categories there, so many divisions are there, so many varieties of occupations or the this is what many people we find in various categories working here in this creatures like bees. Also we find many of the officers working hard, and some of them they work as like as magistrates. So magistrates are nothing but the judges, so they give the judgment there, they give the judge. So some work like magistrates and some others like merchants. Merchants, what they do the trading, isn't it? Vyapara ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. So here some of the bees work like magistrates here, they do the business here and venture the trade abroad. So it may be some risky factor, some hard work, some dangerous, but even though bothering about nothing about it, they work hard, they gather the nectar just like the merchants, they too work hard and they also do the trade here. And others like soldiers armed in their stings. So soldiers already are seen, they are well known for their discipline systematic. So here the bees also work like soldiers, as like as in soldiers we find very discipline and neat and clean, isn't that? So many of them we find working in a very systematic planned way, that is what is given there, armed in their stings. Whatever the work they do, they work in a very systematic, very planned way. That is what we find always in the soldiers also. Armed soldiers, they have their weapons loaded on them and they will be working in a very systematic and a planned way. That is what we find in the bees also. They too work hard just like as an soldiers in a very systematic way, very well planned way, make a boat upon the summer's velvet buds. Here they go and sit on some of the flowers, some of the blood buds in the bloom ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ. Flower ಇನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಅರಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮೊಗ್ಗಿರ್ತದೆ, isn't that? So there they go and sit upon that velvet buds. Here boot anta kotta nodri, isn't that? They just go and just they suck the nectar there, adun ಜಾಸ್ತಿ hard in the kick ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು then it will suck the nectar there. summer's velvet buds, which village with merry mirth bring home. So here, now when they suck this sweetness from the flower, they are enjoying a lot. They are in a very happy mood. They are kushi rinda. That is what it will be collecting the nectar, because he will be thinking he got the whatever the thing he is searching for. What is the work is he should do, that is what he got now, so he is enjoying doing that work. That is what is given there. Which village, the way of how it is stealing or sucking the nectar, they with merry mirth bring home. Some new words are also there which are very new to you, so some of them are already given there in the glossary here. uh, Venture, venture, then strings. Myth is already myth. Okay, here they are fully enjoying and doing their work. They are stealing the nectar or the sweetness from the flower and they bring home. Here, their home is nothing but the hive. I think you have seen the hive, the Gidanman hive, isn't that? So, here the hive is being made here by the buds, somehow. So, in this form, we find the hive. Okay, so here house home and the that is what their home is. They happily bring surveying that whether all the work is going on very correctly. So he is there, the person, the bee, the emperor. Now the home is being called as to the hive here, but that is what they will bring and they will pour it there. And to who busied in his majesty service. The emperor is also busy in doing his work because he is the one of the boss there. He is doing his authority. He is having that authority. He will be judging, he will be looking after, he will be surveying whether all the work is going on everything systematically or what. And he is also somewhat busy and singing masses building roofs of gold. Some find some of the bees that are building this hive here, they are building the hives, those are being called as masons here. So they are called as masons. Some of them we find magistrates are there, officers are there, then masons, then soldiers and potters, executors. So some of them are here. Masons, mason always works just building the buildings. So here we find some of the bees, they are just building the hive. The hive jail goodana tayarista irtare. So we find such bees also there and they are also busy and they are singing. ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಾಕ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ we find many of them singing while working. So that is what we find here. Masons will be always singing and they will be building this hive. And the civil citizens needing up the honey. Some of the bees who are very common people, they will be needing kalista irtar nodri. Needing means, so when the the honey is being put here in this hive, in this holes, there will this common citizens people's common citizen bees are there. What do they do is they will be needing ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನ mix ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. So some of the bees, they will be kneading up the honey. So, and after that kneading also, it will become some sort of a smooth, small, as you have seen you have tasted also the honey. so soft it is. That is what this civil citizens will be doing here. The poor mechanic potters crowding in. So here, after this, we also find the potter here, who is also very hard worker. And what does he do is, he is also in a very crowd way, just they will be getting and entering into the hive, and they will also just pouring that whatever the nectar they have brought. And even that is what they find here, their heavy burdens at his is narrow gate. So just don't find any gate there, just this is the holes are being called as the gates. Just there is much crowd, because all the potters, all the bees who are being called as the potters are entering into the hive. So just there is a crowd is there, so the opening of the hive seems narrow there. So that is what, when they are carrying the heavy burden, and just it becomes somewhat of a difficult to enter the this narrow gate, and just they will pour their nectar into this hive here. The sad-eyed justice with his surely hum. Now comes the justice here. Justice is the person who judges everything. So justice. So he is also in a humming way. ನೀವು ಜೇನ್ ಹುಳಗಳು ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, they will humming ಅಂತ sound ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, isn't that? So here also in his humming way, he is little bit sad, because he can see many of them, many of the bees, they're all working hard. Even he is also, surely he is some unimpressive way, he will be doing just humming me, and that's just sound ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, isn't that? We have seen some of, we have heard also that sound. So those bees are being called as the justice here. And they are, he is delivering some work to the executors here. Executors are also some of the bees who does some very effective work there. So he delivering over to the executor's pale the lazy yawning drone. The last comes the drone here. It is already given there. The drone is only a male bee here, male and female. Already you know that male bees and female bees. Here drone is being called for the male bee, who is a very lazy and yawning. Yawning ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವತ್ತು ನಿದ್ದೆಗಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಲೇಸಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ, isn't that? So that is what always we find a drone as a lazy and a yawning bee here. But the whole poem tells us that all the bees, we have seen magistrate officers, masons, soldiers, potters, executors, and the justice, everybody are doing one or the other hard work in collecting the honey and building the hive there and kneading, isn't that? Some of them, they are this emperor is also working, he is also busy there. But whereas only one bee that is very lazy is, it is drone here. It is a male bee which is a lazy. Among these bees, we find drone as a very lazy drone. That is what William Shakespeare is expressing here in this whole poem, that is the bees. So try to read as much as possible. Even I have said you to do this appreciation work, which is given in the next page also. So connect maximum information from the net. When you open the encyclopedia, it will tells you about everything. So try to get the nutritious value of honey and the medicinal value of honey, and get about how the hive is made. And we know that it is some sort of wax is also collected there. So get more and more information about this is also okay, students. So thank you very much. We will meet again in the next class. Okay.